Let's say it's a lot party quick tip. I am live here. I'm going to also try to, as I always talk about, go into Facebook Live to see if I can pull it up. Let me get my mic closer to me. So sorry about that. Let me pull up maybe Facebook Live, see if anybody want to chime in. Now, all right. So here we are. All right. We're getting a couple things. I just did, so I can't share too much about this because I just did an episode on my CBT News Used Car Weekly show. It's going to be posted next Thursday about closing percentage, look the book, closing percentage on leads, look the book, how those metrics have to be analyzed a little bit differently. But I just got off a conversation with somebody that I've known for a long time, old Vialdo guy, and working somewhere else now. But either way, I've had this come up a couple times, and the first thing he asked me was, what are we seeing with lead count? Are we seeing dealers' lead counts going up or down? And here's the thing, we start because we're looking at both leads and inventory, and you just don't get that combination in your CRM. You don't get it in your inventory management tool. So as we're looking at leads and inventory, the first thing I told him was, a dealer, you just can't look at your total leads. Okay. As a dealership, as a manager at the store, don't just look at, hey, why did we have 400 leads, 300 leads last month, and we only have 200 leads this month? A couple things could be going on there. Again, once you start looking at the inventory. One example, let's just say last month you had that 12-year-old car that had 50,000 miles on it. That was a 15 grand car that you got 40 leads on, right? So last month, 40 of those 300 leads came on that one car. Because one of the stats that we've seen when we looked at dealerships, I took a 10 store sample group, 50 cars on a lot, 150 cars on a lot, didn't matter their CRM. We found that 47% of those active leads in the last 60 days were on only 10% of their cars. So there's cars in there that are getting 10, 20, 30 leads. And okay, so if that car sells, obviously that's going to take a whack. It could be a 10% whack to your lead count. So if you just look at total lead count month over month, hey, why we go from 300 to 200? That could be one of those equations. Two, what if your inventory is down 20%? So you take that out of the equation. Let's say one car did get 50 leads. So 300 leads now turn into 250 for last month, and you only have 200 this month, or the month that just ended, let's say February to March. Well, what if your inventory is 10, 20% lighter? So you got to start looking at leads per car. How many total leads per car are you getting? And to really get an understanding, is my leads up or down? Again, example would be if you go from 300 to really kind of 250 because one of those cars had 50 leads. So take that out of the equation. Now you're down to a 50 lead difference, but your inventory went from 100 cars in stock to 70 cars in stock, and you calculated leads per car. You might be doing the same or better. So realize leads per car. And one example that I gave this gentleman as we're talking, we have a dealership who has 67 cars in stock. Okay, 67 cars in stock. Now, of those 67 cars, over the last 60 days, okay, last 60 days active leads, okay, these aren't lost and sold, he in his CRM would have 416 leads, okay, as of right now, over the last 60 days. Of those 416, I'm reading the screen right now, 65 of those leads still have a car still in stock. So 416 leads over the last 60 days, only 65 of them still have a car in stock, okay? Now, of those others, 298. Just be fair, let's round that up to 300. 300 leads of those 416 are still active, but they're on cars that sold, right? Cars that sold. And then there's 53 leads that are unknown, meaning when it comes to inventory, it's unknown. It was a couple of them would be like Kelly Blue Book instant cash offer. That's a lead that comes in to acquire their car. Yeah, they say they want a 15 Ram, or a Ram 1500, but they didn't specify one in stock. So there's 53 of those 416 leads that are unknown or unspecified to a car in inventory. But think about that, 300 leads that are on active car or active leads on cars that sold. You got to. So if your cars are turning faster, right? And the reason why this lead set is kind of jacked up, this dealer sold, I think, 130 cars, 140 with 70 in stock. So he's getting multiple leads on a car. Car sells, right? And the inventory is moving so fast that he's going to have a lot of leads left over. Not too many active leads on cars still in stock. Okay, get it? And so that's going to affect, obviously, closing percentage, right? It's going to affect. That's why, again, in CBT News next Thursday, my used car weekly, we cover kind of that closing percentage and the impact once you look at inventory and look the book trade-in closing percentage. But that's going to affect this, guys. So long story short, kind of too late, when you're looking at your leads, if they're up and down, you got to consider leads per car. If it's down, it could be your pricing went up. If it's down, it could be you got rid of that one car that got 50 leads. Is it down because you've got a lot of V8 trucks and SUVs, large SUVs in inventory, and not as many maybe intermediate cars people are shopping for, right? So don't just assume it's a lead provider problem or a marketing problem, when in reality, more times than not, it's an inventory problem. And the funny thing is, when there's an inventory problem, meaning my inventories, my sales have slowed down 8 times out of 10, it's usually a process problem. We're pulling up these leads and they haven't been contacted in 5, 6, 7 days. I got a 30-day-old car and priced at 92%, well below where it probably should sell at. And I'm wondering why it's still sitting here. And I got 5 active leads, and 3 of those leads I haven't called in the last 5, 6, 7, 10 days. And I haven't called them since the last price change I did 2 or 3 days ago. And so it's funny is a lot of times the lead count isn't sometimes a reflection of marketing. It could be a reflection of inventory, lack thereof, and wrong cars or wrong pricing. But ultimately, when it comes to the inventory, some of it has to do with the lead management. Also, the fact that maybe I have a car that had 2 active leads and I followed up with them, but this car's 40 days old. These leads are 20 days old. They're not getting back a hold of me. And if those are the only leads you're working for that car, you're missing opportunities, because remember, this dealer had 400 leads on sold cars. So if I have a 2017 F-150 XLT priced at 93%, it's 43 days old. I got 2 leads on it. I've called them to the cows come home. I've called them and followed up with them. Hey, what's up, Tommy Russell? How you doing, sir? I've been calling, emailing these 2 leads, and no one's getting back to me. What about the other 15 leads that are still active, that were looking for a large pickup truck at the same price point, but those cars sold? So again, I forgot what I said. A 2017 F-150 XLT, maybe it's priced at 35 grand. It's a large pickup truck XLT with average miles. And that car, I have 2 leads on. I've called and emailed them. I can't get a hold of them. And if that's the only thing you've been doing, is what about the other 15 leads? Maybe they were looking at a Silverado that was at 32 grand. Maybe they were looking at a Ram that was 35 grand. Maybe they were looking at another truck at 37 grand. What if those leads that were looking for a large pickup truck around 35 grand, what if we called and emailed them and try to switch them to this truck? Because sure in the heck, we're going to do that on the showroom floor. So again, lead count and lead performance has a lot to do with inventory and inventory performance, and inventory performance has a lot to do with lead management. So these 2 departments go hand in hand. So I just wanted to bring that up. Again, Thursday, CBT News, we are going to be talking about closing percentage and the impact that inventory has on it, and look the book. I had another conversation. People, where should a dealer's look the book be? And we talked about it on Clubhouse, and Brian Kramer and David Long were talking about how they could, if they actually lower their look the book from 50% to 30%, it's a good thing. I kind of cover that in that CBT News Thursday. So I don't want to touch on it too much here. But what I do want to touch on, a couple things. Work the Facts book. a lot of stuff that we cover in our metrics. Metrics you can track yourself is all in this book, WTF. Go to workthefacts.com, get a copy. Then we do have a Lotpop University. If you go to Lotpop U or Lotpop University, it's free. And I'm going to do a video about this here real quick. I'm going to do another live video about our university and what we do at it. But our next one is April 19th and 20th. Here in Olathe, Kansas. Kansas, easy to fly into. Okay, you can come East Coast, West Coast, right to the Midwest here. 19th to 20th, it's a day and a half. Okay, by the 20th, it's a Tuesday, Wednesday. That allows you to come in Monday, get things caught up over the weekend, fly out, be here Tuesday, Wednesday. We do lunch is provided by TrueCar. We do have a sponsor just for the food. It's going to be Joe's Barbecue, one of the nationally ranked barbecue joints on lunch. It's a day and a half, and I do it for free, guys. I just like giving back to the industry to give us so much, and we have a workshop here. Again, I'm going to do a video real quick on it. Check out lotpopuniversity.com, April 19th and 20th. Sign up. We go over a lot of these metrics hands-on. We pull up your stuff, see what's working, what's not. Hope this tip was helpful. Again, work the facts. Go to workthefacts.com. Love seeing dealers get a hold of that and giving me some feedback on what it's been able to do for their stores. And hopefully maybe see it on, we can fit up to 40 people in our workshop here. So April 19th and 20th. We also, just on a side note, we do have a used car 20 group. Again, go to lotpop20.com if you want to find out more about our 20 group. It's strong. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Tommy, Tom Gregg, Tommy Russell, and Tom Gregg popping in on Facebook here. Talk to you guys later. Again, I hope this was helpful. This stuff goes on podcasts too. If you work out and want to listen to any automotive podcasts, I just take these videos, throw them up there if you don't get a chance to watch them live. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Have a great weekend. April Fools.